The Bookworms is a location-based augmented reality experience. So in order to appreciate why we did what we did, it is important to know about the location first. The site of the experience is the State Hall of the Austrian National Library in Vienna. It is the largest Baroque library in the world. At the same time, it's a museum and it's something of a work of art in itself. We call it a Gesamtkunstwerk in German. The State Hall is framed by incredibly tall shelves full of elegant leather-bound books. There are giant 17th century globes, sculptures and busts and beautiful frescoes on the walls and ceilings. First and foremost though, the State Hall is home to the Bibliotheca Eugeniana, which was Prince Eugene of Savoy's collection of books and manuscripts. The Bibliotheca Eugeniana is part of the UNESCO Memory of the World program, and it's safe to say that some of the books in that collection really changed the way we see the world. To anyone who isn't a scholar though, the significance of these books isn't that obvious. It doesn't seem so groundbreaking now to say that the Earth is round, and we now know that there are no dragons at land or sea. But we haven't always known that. So how do we communicate the importance of those books and manuscripts, put them in context and tie them to the scientific discoveries and the research that over time changed our understanding of the world? What connects the old marble sculptures and busts with the important decisions that were made by those people immortalized in stone? How do you make that connection for a child? Well, we tell stories. And augmented reality is an incredibly powerful new storytelling tool. It was our challenge to communicate the significance of the institution, highlight the importance of rigorous questioning and fact-checking, and all the while allow children to experience the library as a place of wonder and adventure. We used the technology and children's fascination with screen-based content to encourage them to look through the screen and really see that grand old library and the world around them in a new light. How do we know what we know? How do we distinguish fact from fiction? The three protagonists of our story, the bookworms Anna, Bruno and Wolf, try to find answers to these questions. The story is split into 6 scenes and leads the bookworms, and therefore the children that are watching and interacting with the experience, to 6 different locations within the library. They explore the space, they look at some of the collection's books that would remain close to children without the use of technology. They squabble and challenge each other, talk about the artifacts and the books they see. However, they never address the children directly. The story takes full advantage of the space and its architecture. The scenes play out on the floor, but also on the bookshelves or on the horizon ring of a celestial globe. That was made possible with a LiDAR scan of the building's interior. Based on the resulting point cloud, we created a virtual set that the characters interact with. That process enabled us to play with occlusion, show the bookworms climb up behind shelves or seemingly disappear behind objects in the room. Like all stories, this one is best watched from start to finish, but you can watch each one of the 6 scenes individually. At each location, there is an image marker that the children are invited to scan. Once the marker is scanned, a small arrow directs the user to the exact location of the scene. Once the scene is found, she or he can press play and the animation switches from an idle mode, where the bookworms mostly fly around mid-air, to a traditionally animated scene. So we combine traditional and procedural character animation to do that, and that also helped to account for scene realignment and unpredictable timings between scenes. From a technical point of view, a highlight of the experience is most certainly a scene that plays out on the horizon ring of a 17th century celestial globe. So you have the bookworms on the floor underneath the globe initially, where they have a discussion about how mankind figured out that the Earth is round. Watching the stars played a big part in figuring this out, so the topic of conversation leads the bookworms to explore the celestial globe. They fly up from the ground and land on the horizon ring. We learned that augmented reality is an incredibly powerful storytelling tool. As soon as the AR way of watching animation is established, it immediately becomes the new normal. Children intuitively walk around the action, focus on different aspects of the story or their favorite character, and continually discover something new. They become director, camera person, editor, and audience all at once. There is an immediacy about sharing a location with a film that seems to encourage an emotive connection to the story, to the characters, and to the space. The line between the story and the audience, the fourth wall, vanishes, and whoever is watching is inside of the story. We often credit good films with allowing an audience to temporarily inhabit the lives of others, to see the world through a different set of eyes. And that particular feeling appears to be heightened in AR storytelling, as the audience is already on location with the protagonists of the film. The children look through the screen, they don't look at the screen, and the places and objects that are referenced in the story can be experienced firsthand. What's more, AR does not isolate. Because of logistics, at the moment the animation has been integrated by the library's team into a 45-minute guided tour that further expands on the themes of the film. 3 to 8 children are handed fancy iPads and are invited to watch together. So the augmented reality story turns into a shared experience for friends or families. Augmented reality as a storytelling medium, as an in-your-home experience, but particularly in conjunction with a specific place, building or cultural heritage site, has huge potential for applications in tourism, entertainment, education and marketing. The Austrian National Library, and therefore the Bookworms, were obviously affected by the coronavirus pandemic, so it's impossible to tell if and how the AR experience affected visitor numbers. But children are mostly quite brutal in their feedback, and all the reactions we got were overwhelmingly positive. And what we also know already is that the AR story attracted a new kind of audience, mostly younger families. For me, that is one of the primary goals when thinking about the future of VR and AR industry applications. How do we bring more people into the fold? Right now, there is a gap between all of us who are very much engaged with technology, a growing number of creatives and technologists to explore AR and VR, but the vast majority of the public is not on board yet. And well-executed, low-threshold applications like the Bookworms are an excellent opportunity to close that gap. After so many words, I'm actually going to play a short trailer of the experience. Thank you very much.
Bruno, you okay?
Really?
Yes.
Anna! If this is a celestial globe, where are the stars?
Oi, Wolfi!
Wolfi, aua! Na?
So many books.